they don't scream. It's flesh and bone that holds the key to what we are and what we'll be. Forget the wires, forget the screens. It's human hearts that build the dreams. Save the future, don't unwind. Invest in the human mind.
Picture this. You're walking through a city at dawn, headphones in, heart full of hope, and beneath your feet, the ground is humming, vibrating with tremors no one else seems to feel. Are we sleepwalking into an unemployment earthquake? That's the pulse I'm feeling right now. See, every generation has its invisible enemy. Sometimes it's war, sometimes it's recession, sometimes it's a slow, silent automation that eats opportunity from the bottom up. Right now, Dario Amodi, CEO at Anthropic, one of the world's leading AI creators, he's out here ringing the alarm. Nearly half of entry-level white-collar jobs could be wiped out in just 5 years. That's not sci-fi, that's this decade. Yet somehow, most of us are just playing Candy Crush on a train that might be rushing off a cliff. So in this episode, this war room, we're going to lift that veil. We're going to dig into what's really shifting under the surface and why ignoring it could cost an entire generation everything they were promised. Let's follow the tremors straight to the epicenter, the job market for the young and hungry. Numbers tell stories too, and right now those numbers spell trouble for new graduates. Unemployment for recent degree holders, 5.8%, the highest since the pandemic haze of 2021 and way above the general jobless rate. But the real kicker, the underemployment rate, 41%, 41.2%. Of grads are working jobs that don't even require their degree. That's almost a coin flip between career and just working to survive. I remember my first real job. Maybe I got lucky. I walked into a place that was willing to train me, coach me, help me turn raw energy into skill. But today, for so many young folks, that crucial first step is straight up missing. And if you think tech is safe, nope. That old song, Learn to Code, it's skipping now. Microsoft has AI writing 30% of its entire code base. Tech companies are hiring half the entry-level developers they used to because AI is handling the grunt work straight out of the gate. So what do you say to a 22-year-old who did everything right only to find the bottom rung gone? It's almost like an ambush. AI moves quietly, but it moves fast. Signalfire and Stanford both dropped research showing that entry-level hiring, especially in big tech, is getting slashed. Not slowed, not tweaked, slashed. And this isn't just abstract data. Let me introduce you to Michael Macaluso, mechanical engineering grad, University of Connecticut. He sent out 200 applications. And right now, he's not cracking open blueprints. He's calling out, no running by the pool. As a director at Lake Isle Country Club, that story right there multiplied by thousands. Meanwhile, Anthropic's new Claude AI models just dropped. And with every leap in capability, another layer of entry-level human work just slips into shadow. So while everyone's busy debating if AI is ready for the real world, it's already carving out the on-ramps where young folks used to get on the highway. Here's the irony that bites. For decades, the story was automation kills blue-collar jobs, factory floors, assembly lines, steel mills. The safe haven was supposed to be a white-collar degree, a cubicle, a keyboard. But now, that pain, it's shifting seats. The market is splitting in two. AI eats up the jobs with low barriers, data entry, junior analysts, first-year coders, while sparing the upper echelon, the niche experts, the managers, the old hands with a track record. The question burns, was that belief in college for safety just a myth all along? Or did the rules get rewritten mid-game and nobody sent out the memo? Even the Stanford study laid it out. Since late 2022, entry-level hiring in AI-heavy industries is falling off a cliff, while senior folks barely feel a breeze. That's a sharp reversal from everything my generation was sold. What does it mean when the ladder's first rung is gone, but the top's still standing? Now, some say, hey, technology creates as many jobs as it kills. And look, I get the optimism. PwC's even predicting job numbers will rebound in time. And Carol Stubbins over there swears the right skills open new doors. But here's the paradox, and it's a beast. Entry level spots keep shrinking, even though total jobs might rebound. Signal Fire found big tech cut new grad hiring by a quarter, but upped veteran hiring by 27%. So if you've got 2 to 5 years experience, they want you. If you don't, sorry, come back later maybe. It's the oldest catch 22. Need experience to get a job, but need a job to get experience. AI just put that dilemma on steroids. I call it the impossible paradox. We've all heard it before, but now it's existential for the class of 2025 and beyond. The pathways shut before most ever get a chance to walk them. When we talk about what AI can actually do, people imagine science fiction, robot surgeons or something. But the reality is quieter, sneakier. AI shines at the tasks that kept young recruits busy. The rote, the repetitive, the crunching, the compiling. Entry-level work in finance. Rogo's AI is doing full financial analyses, diligence, even docs. Work that used to keep teams of analysts up at midnight. That's one tool, but the picture's bigger. Over just the past 2 years, there's been a 400% spike in job descriptions mentioning AI, not just in tech, but every business looking to automate away grind work. So roles that once existed to help folks build skills, pay rent, and climb up, it's like AI just vacuumed out the foundation. And if you think your degree is a moat, just know hiring is falling hardest for roles with the lowest knowledge barriers. Here's where we get to the meat. Survival isn't about being faster than the bear. It's about being faster than the other campers. Heather Doche, Signal Fire's talent partner, laid it out. AI won't take your job if you're the one best at using it. In this new world, you don't just compete against AI. You collaborate, you orchestrate, you become its commander. That's your edge. It kind of reminds me, y'all remember the early hip hop era when the sample kings learned to chop up vinyl, remix, and remix again. The ones who adapted, who learned to sample, made magic, but those who clung to analog, who ignored the MPC, it wasn't the world that left them behind. It was evolution. Today's new grads have to become AI power users, training the machine, not just running from it. This is the remix, a survival jam for Generation AI. But let's not ignore the invisible wounds. Every time a company drops entry-level roles, it's not just a paycheck that disappears. It's mentorship training, the hands-on learning that shapes future leaders. The New York Times flagged it. Experts are worried. If we automate the on-ramps, who grooms the next generation? Who teaches the craft, the unspoken rules, the tiny lessons in every email and messy meeting? Personally, I wouldn't be who I am without those patient mentors who caught me before I tripped, handed me a book, or pulled me aside after I bombed a client call. That's irreplaceable. If AI drives out those early jobs, we risk a future of workers promoted too soon, unprepared to lead, or a generation left circling outside the club, never getting their shot. Where do we even build culture if the doors are always closed? So, is any job safe? Let's break it down. Stanford and Fed studies both tell us the roles at greatest risk are the ones heavy in math, computing, analysis, and that good old fashioned routine. If you're just crunching numbers, filling out templates, or running scripts, AI's looking over your shoulder, humming, I got this. But here's the plot twist. Blue collar and skilled trades, plumbers, electricians, anyone fixing something with their hands, these fields far less exposed for now, at least. Some evidence even shows Gen Z pivoting toward trades, not because the dream died, but because adaptation is survival. When college is no longer a ticket, the rational move is to find the path AI can't take yet. Might be the first time in decades where learn to weld hits harder than learn to code. So, where do we go from here? If you've been listening to this series, you know, I don't believe in barricades, only blueprints. It's not about putting AI back in the bottle or blocking progress or nostalgia for how things were. The real mission is building new ways up, a world where upskilling, lifelong learning, and unique human AI hybrid skills open doors nobody's even seen yet. Maybe you become a prompt engineer, a system builder, an ethical watchdog, anything but a cog. The next generation of leaders, they won't be shaped by AI, they'll be the ones shaping it. The question is, will you? This is your call. And if you're ready to squad up, share battle plans, or just swap survival stories, check out our free school community, First Generation Wealth Builders, details in the show notes. This is Neo Harvard, and in the Neoverse, the mission's never just survival, it's transformation. The story's just getting started.
Forget the wires, forget